big robots, big dragons, and pretty pilots. What else can you ask for? Maybe not the shifter and the cockroach. Greetings, Rigil Agateiades here, back on Master Duel today for the new pack. With it comes a lot of new cards. The ones you'll see a lot is the absolutely busted Phantom of Yugioh in the new meta deck, and Super Star Slayer Typhon that is guaranteed to be in any deck that has extra deck space for when you messed up big time. Then there's also the not as meta changing, but definitely the winner in terms of card art, and what we're using today, the Centurions. Simply said, the main deck monsters all summon themselves when they are placed face up as a continuous trap, with a lot of effects to put them there in the first place. And after doing all that, they go into gigantic level 12 synchro bunguses. The key card is Centurion Primera, important because it's the only in-archetype tuner at the moment. Searches any card on any summon, but you'll almost always search the field spell, which is equally important. Their field spell is Stand Up Centurion. Love the art. With 2 effects in addition to the inbuilt destruction protection. On the turn you activate it, you get to pitch a card to put a Centurion from your deck on the field as a face-up continuous trap. But more importantly, it allows you to synchro summon on your opponent's turn when the monster is special summoned. This effect allows Centurions to play on both turns, and allows them to make great use of Crimson Dragon, the level 12 synchro monster that just unlocks the entire arsenal of level 12 dragon synchro monsters, ignoring their ridiculous material requirements. Famously, this was used to summon Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity, but with that banned for good, we have to use something else. Most people opt for Cosmic Blazer and Red Supernova Dragon, but I got something better for you. The rare Stardust Sifr Divine Dragon. Not only is it a monster negate while saving you a lot of UR points, but it also destroys any card on the field when it does so, meaning you can negate the monster effect and pop something else instead. Very useful against the meta with a lot of field spells, but that's not all! It also gives destruction protection to every card you control. Monsters, back row, face up or face down, they all get protection for once each, rendering Fire King Skyburn completely useless. Other than that, there's also 2 more bargain toolbox options in the extra deck. The first one is Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend, the only option for Synchro 8 or 12 that actively wipes the board without waiting for your opponent to do something to trigger a red supernova. Also, probably the only way to get over something like Crooked Coke Sit. The second one, and the more important one in my opinion, is Dark End Dragon. A replacement for the not yet released Enigmaster Packbit. It has a not very impressive effect that targets and sends a card your opponent controls to the graveyard, but do not underestimate that. With U-Bells flying around, this non-destruction effect comes in handy when trying to get over their board without triggering U-Bell's float effect. While not as powerful as the Synchro it replaces, which doesn't even trigger the throne by putting U-Bell face up in the spell trap zone instead, Dark End Dragon also retains the ability to duck under Typhon with the 2600 attack, which actually came in handy once. Other than the main Centurion parts, there are many things you can run alongside in the deck. With no restrictions at all, Centurions are compatible with any other engine that doesn't take a normal summon. Horus, Bestios, make your pick. But for me, I'll take the Shifter because you really don't want to go against an established board. That's the deck, now to the combo. For Centurions, all combos start with a starter and a pitch. With 14 starters if you include Bonfire, the consistency is quite good. The best starter / extender in the deck is Emblema Oath, a quick play spell that either puts a monster face up from the deck as a continuous trap or set a spell or trap directly. It just does anything, anytime. With that, we put Primera face up and summon that. Normal summon Primera goes into the exact same combo from here. Primera triggers, search, and immediately activate the field spell, Stand Up Centurion. Use this effect, pitch a card, and put Trudia on the field. With the effect in common, we special summon her and then we use her effect to put herself back in the back row with an extra ft.6 from the deck. Other than ft.6, you can also choose Gargoyle too. All we need is an 8, but to me ft.6 is better as it allows us to reuse Trudia later. Now we have a 4 and an 8, and we are set to Synchro Summon. Level 12, Centurion Auxiliar. On summon, Auxiliar searches once again any Centurion card. We'll grab the trap card Centurion Phalanx this time. Bear in mind, Auxiliar triggers on special summon, not just on synchro. So if you summon it from the grave or banished it with Phalanx, it will trigger to search again upon the next special summon. Press end phase and Auxiliar triggers. Put Primera back in the spell trap zone and we continue our combo on our opponent's turn. Opponent's turn, we start our combo when we reach the main phase. Activate both Trudia and Primera to summon themselves in the same chain. Chain resolves and both Primera and our field spell triggers at the same time for us to chain block Primera's search effect. Activate Primera chain link 1, field spell chain link 2, and we add ft.6 as chain link 3, putting Trudia back in the spell trap zone for us to use again. If you run the counter trap instead of Phalanx, that could be your tribute cost as well. 4 and an 8 again, and this time we use the field spell to synchro summon the Crimson Dragon. Activates its effect after resolving Primera's search for more follow-up, target Auxiliar and finish the combo by summoning the monster that you almost never get to see, Stardust Sifr Divine Dragon. Quite a long combo, but because we split it over 2 turns, our combo actually runs under nib. If you didn't put back Trudia, you even make Sifr on 4 summons, so you may never even trigger it. The result is only 1 monster negate and a pop on Sifr, and 1 Phalanx, but it also comes with 2 3000 attack Chunguses, one of them even 4000, and destruction protection for everything, and follow up on the next turn. Phalanx can even bring back Auxiliar if it goes to the grave, and trigger is Surge again. That combined with whichever hand trap you drill makes the board quite a force to reckon. Now let's see them in some ranked action. First Duel, and we start straight off against the old Snake Eye meta. Was running Planet Pathfinder then to add consistency, but later removed them to fit in the shifters. Search the field spell and stand up Centurion. Pitch the nib we don't need and our combo goes. Trudia into Primera, search Wake Up if you didn't draw it in the first place, and then we synchro summon Auxiliar to search Phalanx. Send another Phalanx with Wake Up for an extra monster reborn, and the phase trigger Auxiliar to put back Primera, and we pass the turn. Opponent starts with the Snake Eye tempo, so they get a Flamberge if we summon anything, and then summons Snake Eye Ash even after getting limited. We'll welcome that with our very own Ash. He then summons Birch and make Link Rebo before using Ash's effect, summon Oak and trigger Flamberge, but he goes greedy and saves the Oak effect, so Flamberge takes our Ghost Bell. With nothing to summon off the tempo, we fire off our long-awaited synchro combo. Chain 1 Primera, chain 2 Trudia, use a method in our hand to reset the Trudia before searching a spare field spell, and going all the way to Stardust Sifr Divine Dragon. Back to our opponent, he activates Hita to steal our Ash, will Phalanx but take a red reboot. Opponent then Link summons the Fire Princess, we negate that with Sifr and then pop the tempo instead, so the Fire Princess stays stranded on the field. But then Karakuri drops! Takes away our Sifr, but unfortunately for him, because we didn't summon Sifr using 1 tuner synchro and 2 non-tuner synchros, our opponent couldn't steal Sifr and it's truly over. Next 2 duels we go against the new meta deck, Yugioh. Normal Primera, search MF for a good cost for the field spell, use the field spell to put down Trudia, but then takes the max C. Thankfully, another strength of Centurions. We play quite well under the C. As we can play on our opponent's turn, we just emblem of 04 Phalanx and we pass our turn with at least 2 interactions. The following turns will make you question why Yugioh is the new meta. Nightmare Throne to search the extender, normal summon the starter, fire off Phalanx, and it's straight to the end phase, because they have no Yugioh in hand. As they always say, removing the normal summon works a lot of the time. Before their turn ends, Synchro Summon Oxala. Unfortunately, that takes a Gamma, but not a big deal because we already have Phalanx in the grave. Back to us, and we bring back the Oxala first thing to search Wake Up as an extender, even before the Lotus comes back. Send the used field spell as cost for Gargoyle, activate the new one to put Primera on the field, before summoning Crimson Dragon to make Stardust in 5 summons, and that's no nib for you. Centurion monsters can't be special summoned again once you use their effects to summon themselves from the spell trap zone, but you can still normal summon them. Summon the second Primera and we make Centurion Legatia, popping their defense position monster before we go for lethal, with Sifr stopping any possible Spirit of Yugioh. It is definitely game. Second round against Yugiohs, but this time going second. Missed the standby phase, but still made it in time for a shifter before the Phantom of Yugioh drops. Monster negate by shuffling things anywhere is just insane, but our shifter is stronger and our opponent ends on 2 monster negates in order. Not something we can't go through. Use Emblema to get Trudia, and that takes the Phantom of Yugioh, destroying a Spirit of Yugioh from their deck. But because they have no Yugioh on the field now, they have no monster negates left, and an Ash does the job. You couldn't even called by because of shifter. Not bad at all, not bad at all. The main combo itself doesn't go through a lot, requiring new starters every time you take a negate. But with the roughest hand trap collection in game, in maximum shifter, maxi and nib, and the ghost bell to stop the called buys, all we have to go through is an Ash most of the time, even when going second. All that before dropping gigantic 4000 attack funguses for lethal, just try to not get Primera removed. You can do literally nothing after that. Love how it runs, love how it looks. Definitely playing more of this deck. That's it from me today. Latest.